Go on then.
Yeah. I'm learning. All right, guys. Welcome, everyone. Let's not do that on a loop. How's it going, guys? Welcome, everyone, to the 5ers Live Trading Room. We got a very special live stream for you guys here today. We got a lot of people watching as well. So welcome, everyone, every new viewer of the YouTube channel and every old viewer of the YouTube channel. Whether you're new or old, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because we got some big things coming up here. This is how should we call it? A warm-up for the bootcamp week that's coming up next week, starting November the 4th. This is a, pre-bootcamp week where we're going to be talking about the bootcamp program, the bootcamp week, and we're going to be doing, of course, some live trading for you all here in this wonderful live stream. And guys, we have 10 accounts that we're going to be giving away in this live stream, in tomorrow's live stream, and on Wednesday. Okay, and you know what? I just came up with something.
Yep.
If you guys hit that like button, and if we reach, 500 likes, we'll do something special for you guys.
500 is too easy. Too easy. I remember the days we used to get 1,000.
Okay. If we get 500, I'll be giving away a few more accounts. If we hit 1,000, we'll do something big for Wednesday. Okay, if we hit 1,000 likes today, we'll I don't know. We'll have to.
Jonathan's going to dress up as a clown.
Well, no, I'm not going to be dressing like a clown. The clown days are over. I'm no longer dressing up as a clown. Unless there's a really good bet going on, then maybe. Okay, guys, how are you all doing? We got a lot of people watching right here. It's going to be difficult to go through all the comments, but we have our sweet Victor. Maybe can help us out to check the comments to see if we have any good questions or anything that we should be... and the reason why we're doing this is to celebrate the fact that the signups are now open for the bootcamp trading week. So you have to go to the description of this video, make sure that you do sign up for the bootcamp week. And we want you guys, any questions that you might have, anything that you want us to look at and talk about in this live stream today, you're free to comment in the comment section. And I would like to also ask you guys for help. We do have a lot of commentary and we want to make sure that we do cover all the comments and all the questions, but for that to be possible, we would like to ask you not to spam in the comments. There's no reason to ask the same question over and over again. We will make sure to go through the comments, and I'm also going to activate a slow mode on the comments, so you can only comment like every 10 seconds or stuff like that, and that's too pretty good structure here for the comments. All right, so today we want to start with a market overview of the markets, take a look at some of the major forex pairs. We'll take a look at gold, we'll take a look at Bitcoin, we'll take a look at the upcoming news events that we have as well. So I'm just going to go straight ahead. What?
Lovely jubbly. Have you never heard the saying lovely jubbly?
I had now.
Okay, so yeah, it's very English, but yeah, lovely jubbly.
let's
My first time as well.
Lovely, really? Yeah.
Jubbly.
Jubbly, lovely jubbly. If anybody's English in the chat, just say you've heard lovely jubbly, so it's not, people just don't think I'm just weird. It is a thing.
That's right. And for the giveaway, let's see, we have a question right here. We have a question. This guy in the comment, thank you for your comment. He thinks that he thinks that this is the bootcamp week. This is not the bootcamp week. This is the pre-bootcamp week. This is the warm-up to bootcamp week. In the bootcamp week, everyone who signs up and goes through the event will be able to buy a Bootcamp Evaluation account for $10. $10, 20K Bootcamp account, $10. Everyone. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna buy one. Yep.
That's crazy. Can't believe it.
It is. It's pretty good. Okay, so let's see. First, what I want to do is I want to take a look at Euro USD. And this is actually a chart that I brought up in our WhatsApp group. We had Abe, our community manager, in the Discord. By the way, if you're not in the Discord, make sure that you go in and you sign up for the hub if you haven't signed up for the hub already. And if you do have an evaluation account or had an evaluation account, or if you're funded with the 5ers, you have access to our Discord server. And I think, like, I feel like the Discord server is like YouTube on steroids. It's like everything that we do on YouTube, but they dive deeper. They have lots of fun events going on in there, and they're doing multiple webinars and workshops from multiple people, including the one and only Victor. And I know Alex is visiting sometimes as well. And sometimes. I should probably do something in there as well. But YouTube is takes up a lot of time, and okay, EU. So what are we looking at on EU right here? I remember this weekend I looked at the markets and I thought maybe this week we'll get the reversal that we've been waiting for. So I'm going to remove some of the drawings here and walk you through what I'm thinking looks, well, probable when it comes to EU. Wait, are we already? Oh, okay, we're 300 likes. That's insane. We
told you,
got
you're
300.
setting the bar too low, bro. 500 is setting the bar way too low, but we've set it now. So
okay. All right, I'm being nice to you guys. 500 likes. We get 1,000. We'll add some extra.
They were like,
accounts.
You said that, and they were like, easy. I'm just gonna that's it, done it, botted you all.
Yeah,
500 straight away.
Crazy. Okay, so what are the criteria to win the giveaway? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give out a link and a secret code a bit later in the live stream. This is great. Please add US30 to your list. I'm going to do that right away. US30, Dow Jones. I wonder what that is on Oanda. I want to have it on Oanda. It's probably is it Dow Jones? DJI. Is it? What is it?
Yeah,
I think it's US30.
US30. Yeah.
Is it? But not on Oanda. It is down here. Okay. Okay, so it's US30 USD Wall Street. Okay, let's add that one right there. And we're going to be adding it to this one right here, US30. So I'll add that to the regular, because I know a lot of people are actually asking about US30, but it's not something that I regularly check. But I'm going to be adding that to the regular, the market update. So what we're doing here is we're creating a we're always going to do this section in the beginning of the live stream where we do a regular market update on the major Forex pairs. We're going to be looking at the major indices. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin and gold. And we're also going to be looking at the news so that everyone who tunes in and everyone that is watching this live trading room will be set up for the coming week and the coming days. And we'll do this for every live stream. So you'll make sure that this will be your #1 source for technical analysis and, breaking down the overall view of the markets from a technical analysis point of view. And I want to begin with what I always begin with. I want to go back to Euro USD and talk about some of the levels that I have for Euro USD. Now, obviously, as you see here, we had a major push to the downside once we broke this level right here. And it's quite obvious that this was a very important level for EU, because once it broke, you had a very strong move to the downside. And we've now seen that we had a big move to the downside. And in this trend, what I'm trying to see here on the daily is I'm trying to figure out what's the behavior of this current trend that we're seeing right now. And we haven't really changed the behavior of this trend, because, this current daily candle that we're printing, You know, as Victor always like to say, never trust a moving candle. This can turn into a bearish candle quite easily. And if it does that, then the behavior of this trend is intact. What I like, though, is the fact that if we go to the weekly, we can mark out a level right here. And this is one of the levels that I'm watching on the weekly. You can see here. Actually, I think it's better to be viewed on the daily. Can extend it to on the daily here, and this is basically the level that I'm watching on the weekly and the daily, and you see the price comes very nicely into that high time frame support right now. And what's interesting here is not really what's happening on the daily. We can, however, mark out a level here and say that if price gets above this level right here, we have a change in structure. Okay, change in structure and a change in behavior. What's even more interesting is this is the first time on the 4 hour that we have a major shift in structure in terms of creating a higher low. So this is the higher low right here, and we also now have a potential reversal pattern, a potential bottom formation here on EU on the 4 hours. So I do think that we're right now seeing quite clear signs of a potential reversal on EU. Now, for me to trade this, for this to be confirmed, we have to see a break and retest of this neckline of the W, which would, of course, look something like this.
So you're looking for a long on EU.
I'm not looking for a long on EU, but I'm looking for different ideas to trade on EU. And one of the ideas that I've identified is a potential long if a move happens, and that move would be a breakout above this line, which we could say is 84. Let's put it at 84 right there. So a break above 84 would mean that we now confirm that reversal pattern, especially if we have a 4 hour candle close above this level. That confirms, to me at least, the bottom formation on Euro USD. Now, what I want to see here is I want to see other major markets that have shown the same move with EU. I want to see them put in the potential bottom formation as well. If we see that, then we could perhaps think about the scenario that we are seeing a macro shift, okay? Because if EU is moving down, GU is moving down, if the S&P 500 had a similar move, but we're all hitting support, we're all creating a possible bottom formation, that might mean that a news event coming up this week might act as a catalyst to switch the overall macro view that we see right now. And when you have that confluence between different currency pairs, different indices, and risk assets like gold, Bitcoin, and you have a news event that comes up and can act as a catalyst, that's when I believe you have really high conviction trades, right? So if you look at EU, for example, we could be looking at this from a swing trading perspective. Now, of course, this can be traded on the lower timeframes as well, and you'll see us go into the lower timeframes for some live trading in a bit. But if we reclaim this level right here, I do have two interesting levels in mind. And the first one should be that one. And the other one above is the one where broken that caused the move. You see here that on the daily, we have a massive double top here on EU. And once that bottom formation was confirmed, we had a big move down to this weekly level. Now, I'm looking from a swing trading perspective. I'm thinking that we might see a reclaim of this level, and that would be the first FTA on a higher time frame. If we reclaim that level, I'm thinking we might hit that level right there. So from a swing trading perspective, this price action and this type of bottom formation is just exactly what you would want to see in my opinion. So that's on EU. Now let's go over to GU to see if we have similar patterns, and then see if the general idea that I talked about is going to play out. So on GU, we want to see something similar. Now, I don't really care where it happens. All I care about is if it happens. Okay, so daily, are we seeing a break of structure? Not really. We're hitting that resistance right here on the daily, but do we have a double bottom on the 4 hour? Do we have a higher low on the 4 hour? And that's exactly what we have. We have a lower high And we could argue that this is the bottom formation on GU. So we are seeing a similar pattern on GU. And if EU reclaims that level we talked about, then GU probably reclaims this level for a move up here. So GU is following along the same lines. Let's take a look at S&P 500. And what we're seeing on the S&P 500 is a break and retest on support. Something like that. And this is the move. Actually, we had a gap up on the S&P 500 here. Looking at the 4 hour, it's an insanely strong move and strong recovery from the S&P 500 right here. So I would say that we do have it feels like the recovery already happened on the S&P 500. That's actually very, very strong from the S&P 500. But I would say that it follows along the same lines. Let's take a look at the other indices to see if we have a similar pattern. I mean, the Nasdaq is running. It's just absolutely flying. It's breaking above that local high. There's nothing bearish about this at all. US 30. Well, US 30 is obviously weaker, but still at major support right here. Looking at the 4 hour, we do see a possible breakout structure if we see something like that. Let's look at Bitcoin. Yeah, this is just insane, right? Look at Bitcoin. We had a break and retest right here, and we bounced here, and we're now reclaiming a good level for the lower time frames, which is that one right here in the 4 hour. So I think right now we're seeing risk assets being bullish. We're seeing Euro USD potentially putting in a bottom as well with GU. So I think all of these pairs that I've looked at right now does align, because I do have the feeling that when Bitcoin moves to the upside, we're usually seeing Euro USD have more pressure to the upside, right? We're seeing USD have a higher chance of putting in a bottom, at least from my perspective. And I'm going to look at gold here, but I'm going to expect that gold is super bullish. And even though it's still within this range here on the 4 hour, we do know that by zooming out, we know that gold is just stupid bullish, just incredibly bullish right here. Now, of course, for this to really confirm any more strength to the upside, I do feel like we need to reclaim this level right here. So overall, I would say that it seems like we're potentially shifting. If last week was a risk-off move, it seems like we're potentially shifting that idea to potentially recover most of the moves that we had to the downside last week on GU and EU.
Yeah, gold just looks like it's consolidating. Not really much to see with gold again, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, very, very possible.
It is going sideways if you consider how it has been. It is consolidating, so it is in a range, but it has positive undertones to it, if you ask me, because the structure. And maybe I should show that in the. Let me show my screen. Let me put mine on, if you don't mind, Jonatan.
Sure.
Let me see. There you go. So it is. If you look at it, it is going. It has been going sort of sideways for the last couple of sessions on the H4, but you can see how the positiveness is coming back to the market right after this move. So everything it's doing in here is not, it isn't breaking out. It's not making higher highs, given this this all-time high that was set in previously, right, on Wednesday last week. However, you can see this uptrend forming, right? The market structure forming, where it seems like it wants to continue higher. This looks very bullish, still very strong, and it's not a surprise. I mean, given the geopolitical situation, so it's. I think it's in a consolidation, ready to break out, probably to the upside.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks good. But I think what we want to do now is we want to go over, just look at the economic news calendar. That's basically what I want to do before we go into the actual live trading, because I do think that we're seeing quite a lot of moves here today, and I think I don't want to be wasting any time. I want to be able to see if we can get into any what is it? Yeah, it's called trades. I should know that. Should definitely know that. Let's see, what do we have for this week in terms of news? So today let's see, I have I gotta turn on the orange one as well. Let's see what we have. So today at 6:30 p.m. And by the way, guys, I know that we've just switched to winter time. So what we're doing right now, I'm in Sweden and we're doing this live stream at the same time, my local time, which means that in the US, it will be 1 hour before our normal streaming time for 1 week. So this week, it's going to be 1 hour earlier. And then next week, when the US comes into the same, winter time, then it's going to be the same, probably, I think, all over the world. So there's going to be like 1 week where it's 1 hour off between Europe and the US. It's always confusing me, the time zones, winter time, summertime. It's always going to be confusing.
Yep.
It is something you have to check every year twice. So and make sure that you don't get confused. Don't make a mistake on it, because an hour in trading can make a big difference. If you miss the event, the high impact news comes 1 hour before you thought, that's a big thing.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so today we got CAD news. Tomorrow we have Jolt's job opening. I think that could be a potential. Both CB consumer confidence and Jolt's job opening could be a catalyst that we need for EU to put in that low, and that comes in tomorrow. And it's a good time as well for that structure to be intact. If we have a catalyst on Wednesday or Thursday, the structure might look very different. But we do, of course, have on Friday we have the NFP, which here says non-farm employment change, but it's supposed to did say in the past non-farm payrolls. So we have the NFP as well as unemployment rate, of course, coming out on Friday. That's going to be a major news event, and I'm guessing that would potentially be the catalyst to see what structure we're going to be seeing. Unfortunately, on Friday, that double bottom on the 4 hour for EU is not going to be a double bottom on the 4 hour anymore, but it might be a potential range on the 4 hour, which doesn't really make that much of a difference. All that matters to me is, are we changing a market structure? You know what I mean? Do we have lower lows, lower highs, or higher highs and higher lows? Now, is that an inverse head and shoulders? Is that a double bottom on the 4 hour? It doesn't matter. And do we care? Well, not really. We don't really care about that. All we care about is what's the structure of the market. And speaking of structure of the market, to next week on the Bootcamp week, we're going to have one of these live trading sessions, and we're going to be focused on one specific thing, and that is the fundamentals of technical analysis. So if you are new into trading, or you want to know more about technical analysis, that is a live stream that you need to join, because we will be talking about not only the fundamentals of technical analysis when it comes to indicators and things like that. We're going to be talking about one of the most fundamental things in trading and in technical analysis, which is the idea of learning how to identify different market structures. And I'm going to be talking more about that when we're live trading in just a few minutes as well, because I do trade on naked charts, just looking at market structures. So that's highly recommended that you do tune in next week for the live show on the Bootcamp week as well. Let me...
You mentioned something very interesting, Jonatan. You said that the catalyst of this week will probably be NFP. And we have Jolt tomorrow, which we know from the past, of course, that can bring up some movement in the market. So what I think is, if we know in advance that there's going to be a lot of movement at the end of the week, Friday, NFP, and we know that there will be other events that can move the market as well tomorrow, perhaps Wednesday as well during the week. What I'm thinking is what I'm asking myself is, how can I strategically position myself before the actual move happens? right? If I and what I do is I would like to go then to the higher time frames and what is the market telling us? What is it trying to do? And try to position myself as a swing trader in this case before that move comes in. Because if you're going to have a position on if you're going to trade NFP, either you get in way in advance, like hours if not days in advance, and then let it move with you, let it move your position in the right direction, or you'll have to wait for the move to happen and then you tag along, but of course you will not get the best price anymore. So I think that whenever I check the weekly NFP, for example, whenever it is coming that week, I'm looking Monday, Tuesday, how can I get in for a potential and leave a portion on for that NFP movement, right? So and that's something many traders can try themselves as well. Leave a portion on, or perhaps enter the whole position and leave it for a swing trade to see if you can identify that move in beforehand. Because if you can, man, you can have a wave which can be hundreds of pips.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're able to get in, like I said, you're looking at market selection, you're looking at the horizontal levels, and you're looking for a catalyst. If you're a swing trader and you're okay with fairly wide stop losses, you can of course enter before that potential catalyst and expect that a news event like NFP. Now, I'm not recommending having a trade open or a trade, in progress during the NFP, because you're probably like your stop loss is going to get hit and your TP is probably all going to get hit at the same time. Like it is an insane price action around those times. But there is, of course, a argument to be made that if you do see a potential story in the market playing out, then especially in the higher time frames, there's only really one thing that will get price moving, and that is fundamentals. So if you do have a good story that you're seeing potentially playing out, and you know that you have a major fundamental event coming up, there is of course the argument to be made to prepare to enter that position based on that catalyst. But it's very tricky.
There is something to be said though. I didn't mention it. Of course, when you can get in days before with the mentality that you're trying to get a better price before the volatility comes in. But of course, if the news comes out and you're very close to your entry and or your stop loss, that may be a reason to close and abort the idea, right? But what I think about strategically positioning myself is getting in now. Perhaps a reversal may happen today or tomorrow, and it actually already moves in that direction. Comes NFP, and then it has like a second step rocket and then goes up, like say in EU. And then you already got in days before at a much better price with a tighter stop loss, which would be impossible if you would wait for the news to come out or trade on Friday of NFP itself. But of course, it's very dangerous, and that's what Jonatan has been mentioned or commenting on. It is dangerous, and there's a lot of danger having a position on with NFP if your stop is relatively close by, right? If it's about 10 pips, that isn't enough. That we know from past price action that 10 pips is nothing for NFP. So you better already be with a good buffer of a couple of dozens pips away from current prices when NFP comes out.
Alex, I want to ask you what because I obviously you're staring at the chart, looking for setups right now. Are you looking at anything? Anything that you?
I'm looking at a setup because I was doing two things. Because I'm already in a setup on EU and I got a little bit aggressive and added it in a really bad place. The second one was actually pound yen, because on Friday when we were talking about pound yen, we actually marked out, we were playing around with pound yen and we actually marked it out and we had a feeling that it was going to retrace, and I've just marked it back out on this chart because I'm not on the charts from home, and we actually took this trend line across this kind of ascending triangle, and the idea was that we were going to have a retrace back down to the 200 EMA. Let's see if I can find it. And, you know, going back now, this is a new week, going back over it, it was a little bit choppy, but that was a really nice move. And, you know, it's a shame that we didn't actually trade it, because on Friday when we marked, if everybody wants to go out to the last stream on Friday, we were actually live trading and we marked this out. We didn't trade it, unfortunately, because we already had a trade and I wasn't going to continue trading afterwards. But that was a really, really nice move. It was quite choppy up here, but as soon as that choppiness kind of, finished, then you really had a really nice direction back to the 200 EMA on the 5 minute. The trade that I'm currently just staring at the moment is just the euro dollar trade. I got into this the very same reasons as you've already pointed out. To be honest, we're coming into quite a nice area to trade from. Let me just pull up the daily. I don't know why my chart is like this. We've got the edge of this daily candle, this kind of pivot point, the end of the wick here, which has found some really, really, really nice support. We can see on this leg down, we're starting to get price action to start to tire just a little bit. This is very, very, very directional. We're starting to see price get slower and tiring out as we reach that area of demand. And then when we go into the lower time frames, as you well said, you know, we've had that kind of change of structure. I'm quite late into this trade, I would admit it, and I added also a little bit too late into this trade. Maybe I was being a little bit greedy, but we've had this really nice push candle, and we look like we're actually making a really nice pattern. So I've gone onto the lower time frames, and I can see that we've made this kind of flag or triangle, ascending triangle type of pattern, which was from here. And that's where I decided, you know what, I actually want to get into this trade. So I've got into this trade on, let's have a look, a little bit too late. So my first entry was around here. It's initially pushed up. I thought it was going to just keep pushing up and take out these highs here. It didn't actually retest it down to retest these EMAs into the center of this range. So that's why I held on to the position. And now it looks like it's pushing up, and I do think it's going to push up and break above these highs. That's it. That's what I've been looking at.
Yeah, I like that. I think we are seeing some volatility coming in on the low time frames here for EU. Looks like we're breaking a low time frame level. Let's see if I can share the screen here that I'm looking at. Let's see, where is it? It's this one right here. So we're looking at, yeah, we're not breaking above that level, but it does look like, I mean, this is the level that needs to break for, and I'm really liking this structure. I would probably get into a possible breakout trade here if it weren't for this right here. It's so close. But what I'm seeing now is potentially we could see a breakout here, hit that level on as resistance, and then come back down and have a break and retest. So what I'm watching right now is potentially this. Or a trade would be this, right? Wish we would have better drawings in MetaTrader, but it is what it is.
Yeah, see, now the reason why I like that, but the reason why, because it's on a low time frame, I want to see price actually be decisive here. This is quite a big and important level for me, just to be decisive, for price to push up and break that prior high. If it starts becoming indecisive here and starts, you know, consolidating around this level and not actually moving, then it's kind of a red flag for me. If it comes up and then, you know, straight away retraces and then hovers around that level again, it's a warning sign, because again, we're on the lower time frames. You know, it's not like we're on a 4 hour or this is a daily level and, you know, price keeps coming back to it and it consolidates before it makes a move. You know, price is fractal, but price also moves a lot faster in on the 5 minutes. So I want to see this pattern complete in a lot faster as well.
Then again, it is very wise to keep in mind that the days or the sessions before a big event, usually market tends to, you know, go sideways, fake breakouts and breakdowns, only to you know, trap more traders before it actually moves. So it's important to keep that in mind. If the market isn't really giving us a convincing structure, maybe it's not going to do much until the news comes out.
We've got to take into account as well. Sorry, we've got to take into account as well where the Dixie is. You know, we've had a massive push up, and now we've got to a level on the weekly where is this, as Victor would call an order block on the weekly level. This is the first time. This is the first touch of that order block, and we haven't really had any retest or anything from there. So it's quite obvious that there's going to be some sort of reaction in that area. Is it going to be a big reaction? Is it going to be a small reaction? We don't know what kind of reaction it is, but we can project that there will be a reaction. And that's why I see this trade could be, you know, in and out intraday trade instead of holding this for a long time, because we don't know what's going to happen. But if you have a look at all the, you know, all the futures, all the currencies against the dollar, you know, half of them are going up against the dollar. So I think this is actually a dollar move, just a little bit of retrace for the dollar, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of relief in euro. Euro is still quite weak, in my opinion, but again, we'll see, and we'll just trade what we can see. That's all.
Right now, what I'm looking at is if we have two ideas that I'm currently looking at. So we have a potential breakout above this level here. So that would like a 1 minute candle close above that level. I would potentially look for a possible breakout up to this level right here. So that would be the first idea. And then other than that, we have a very clean level below here. So that would be a potential retest of that level. You can see my yeah, sure. So you can see my stop loss being right here at the green level, and then my TP would be at the resistance right here. So I would potentially put in, I'm going to be putting in, yeah, so price is currently too close to that price for me to put in limit orders right here. So I was a bit late here. I would have wanted to have a limit order right here. If I did, I would have been filled on this one, because we do have, you know, on your USD, it's very important to mention this. We have zero spreads. Okay, right now in Euro USD, and most of the time we have zero. That's a zero spread on EU, which means perfect execution, which means, you know, scalping like I'm doing right here, trading low time frames, would not be possible. Like I have a private account on another, you know, a broker, and that one does not have 0%, you know, zero spread on EU, which means I can't be trading like this. I can only swing trade on that account, because trading like this, I would give, you know, sometimes I'm giving back half of my profit, or just I'm halfway to my TP or my stop loss when being filled at entry. So if you are trading low time frames, and if you care about having the lowest spreads and the best execution speeds, then the 5ers is the place where you want to be. You know what? Let's talk a little bit about the bootcamp program, because we do have a lot of people coming in here, and a lot of new people coming in, and they're wondering, what is the bootcamp program? So next week we are doing the bootcamp week, where we're going to have 8 different expert traders. You can learn from 8 different expert traders. You will be able to participate in recorded sessions as well as live trading sessions. And during the course of that week, you're going to get assignments. Simple, easy to do. It's just to create a routine for yourself. It's not going to be a massive homework, but when you do go through that week and you submit all the assignments, you'll be able to buy a Bootcamp Evaluation account, a 20K Bootcamp Evaluation account for only $10. And the whole week, next week, is designed to give you the knowledge necessary to build a good foundation to get funded, basically, and to achieve the dreams of being funded and actually go full-time with trading. And this bootcamp week goes hand in hand with the idea of the bootcamp program that we have created. And the bootcamp program is a great program because it's structure. It's a learning structure. It's set up in a specific structure where you're basically, we're teaching you the important stuff here, and if you can go through this evaluation, that means you know how to trade, and you're most likely going to be able to keep that funded account. Because we see that a lot of people, and you know this is true as well, like there are a lot of people, they go through evaluation and then they can't really seem to hold on to that funded account. But with the bootcamp program, we do have statistics showing that a lot of people that go through the bootcamp program actually have the skill necessary to also keep that funded account. And the way we've done this is we created a 3-stage process where you have a profit target of 6% and a stop loss target of 5%. Every 6%, you'll get you go on to the next stage. And so the first 3 stages, 6% profit, and after that you will get your funded account. And what's cool about this is you'll be able to scale this account every time you hit 5% profit. You'll scale the account, and you can scale this up all the way to 4 million. Okay, so we have a very quick scaling program for this as well. And it's only, for the 100K bootcamp program, it's only $95, and you pay the rest upon funding. So you only have to pay a very small fee, and if you don't go through it, you don't have to pay the rest. Okay, you only pay the rest when you actually do get funded. And what's cool about that as well, with the scaling plan, you will get up to 100% of the profits. So $4 million in funding and 100% of the profits. Yeah, it doesn't really get better than that. And there's no restrictions on this as well.
Where do you get a deal like that? Where do you get an opportunity like that to be funded by $4 million if you're able to, scale up your account all the way to the top? That is a huge opportunity. And the only thing you need to do is be a good trader, be a consistent trader. And that's why the bootcamp is one of the best programs. Of course, we have high stakes as well. We have hyper growth, which also has very specific and very interesting benefits. But the bootcamp is special because it's a 3-step program. It forces you to cultivate one of the best traits you need to be a good trader, which is being patient, right? It's not just a 1-step, it's not a 2-step, it's a 3-step. So you better be patient, otherwise there's no way you're gonna get to the, finish the
look
third
at this.
one. So,
look at this, but I just have to tell you guys, but you remember we talked about the spreads, okay? Now I said when price were going down to this level, I said, you know what? On a regular broker, I would probably not have been filled on this one, but with the 5ers, because we have 0 spread, I would be filled on that one. And guess what happened in the next 2 candles? That TP got hit as well, and that would have been hit because of the low spread. So the trade idea that I've already talked about, of course, I was a bit late on this to enter, but that one would have hit the entry and hit TP in the span of 3 minutes, which is quite insane. That's why I'm saying when you're trading like this, you have to be with the 5ers because of the big difference in spread when it comes to different firms and different brokers.
Wait, have you gone long? You just go long then, because there's a long opportunity here, definitely. Just even on the 1 minute, just to take out that.
I'm waiting for the breakout right here. I'm waiting for the breakout. I'm gonna buy the breakout here. Now I do know that this retest right here, I wanted to get in on that one. I was about to put in limit orders, but the problem was that I was too close to current price to put in the limit orders. I had to market buy, but when I saw that we were up here, but now this looks really, really good. And now, of course, I was explaining the bootcamp program, which made me miss this opportunity because I was obviously looking at a different screen. But and that's the thing with live trading. That's the thing that we're doing here. There's a lot of things we have to also take care of here when it comes to the live stream. But if I would be trading on my own here live, then that would definitely have been a trade that I would have been taking. Now the structure that we're seeing now is something completely different. With that bearish candle that we're seeing in 1 minute, is now completely changing the structure here, and I'm no longer looking at
either markets or news has just come out.
I don't think.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see anything on the news. So
it's a good question. Do I trade the 1 minute? So usually I trade all time frames, but what I do is I trade swing trading. But then for these sections, right, for these sessions, and sometimes I have sessions where I do trade the lower time frames. And one of the things is, usually I stick to swing trading when doing these live trading, but I'm also getting a lot of questions on my low time frame trading. So I figured, why not show you guys how I actually do it in real time. I got to tell you guys though, there's definitely a difference between being hyper focused and quiet in my own office doing these live trading than doing a live stream as well. So it's mostly for demonstration purposes, but it's when you understand market structure and you know how the markets move, according to market structure, then trading like this is not very difficult. I mean, all you really need to figure out is a way to control your impulses. I think that's what it's all about when you're trading these lower time frames. But the market structure is just the same. Look at this, for example. How would I have traded this? Well, I would have just shorted on that candle close. Then I would probably have trailed my stop down. So I would have shorted that, and that's exactly the same thing I want to do here. So as soon as this level, if we have a 1 minute candle close above this level, I will buy that breakout. If it closes up, I'll buy that breakout. When it hits this level right here, I will secure the trade by moving my stop loss to entry, but I will trail my stop up. So sometimes you'll get massive breakouts on the 1 minute, and if you can trail your stop up, you can have insanely big winners. And also another thing I'm doing is just I'm waiting for price to hit the support, and when it hits that support, I'm looking for a bullish engulfing candle. So you can look at this one, for example. This is a bullish engulfing candle at support. Now, if you would have entered on that one, put stop loss below here, and then moved your stop up with every swing, you would have been at least being stopped out here. So a small profit on that one. Or you could have just hit the TP. So one thing I like doing is look for a high target, place your TP at that level, and trail your stop. So either that TP is going to get hit or you're going to get stopped out. So trading the low time frames, it's really no different. It's really no different because price action is fractal. If you're looking for a double bottom on the 1 minute, you can trade that exactly the same way as you would trade a double bottom on the 4 hour. The only difference is on the 4 hour, you have to you can take four decisions in a day, right? With the 4 hour candle close. But if you're trading the 1 minute, you're going to take hundreds of potential decisions each day, which means that you'll have to work more on your trading psychology, I believe, on the low time frames, because you're much more inclined to be, if you're like me, if you're an impulsive person, I would definitely say that I can definitely be impulsive. So I'm the type of person that you would see is I'm more of a deep thinker and not a fast thinker. Okay, and that's the you to really excel at scalping, you have to either learn to be a fast thinker, or you have to be just naturally inclined to be a fast thinker.
Yeah, it's a very delicate balance, because when you're scalping, you have to be very quick. Otherwise, there's no point of you being a scalper. You're gonna miss most of the opportunities. But you can be.
We have a possible short here on EU, and I can show you not Euro NCD. So let me show you that on Euro NCD we have a break and retest here on the 1 minute. So that is to me a short. So I want price to come a little bit higher. If we can come a little bit higher, I will make sure to short this. So I want to be able to get filled a little bit higher, and that would be my short on Euro NCD, unless we are trading at a super high we're trading at resistance on the daily. Looks like we have a potential move to downside on 4 hour. So yeah, there's definitely momentum here to the downside and a potential short opportunity here on USD to the downside. So what I'll do is I'll put in pending order right there for a short, and I'm going to move my stop loss up there and probably see if I can start moving my stops down. I've had some issues with the position size calculator here, so let's see. Let's hope that it actually works. It didn't work. I don't know why. That sucks. Okay, so maybe someone else can do some analysis here, and I'll make sure that I figure out what's wrong with that one.
Sure, I can. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna trade, but whack on if you got an analysis on something, then go for it, mate.
Yeah, if you're gonna enter a trade, then if you're gonna enter a trade, then go ahead and enter.
No, I'm not entering any more trades. I'm watching it.
Let me and then in that case, let me check the what I can do is I've got my screen on, so let me get the correct one. Okay, so what I see is this, and that's the opportunity I think for we've been mentioning this a couple of days already, but we are on a weekly, right? This is the weekly time frame. On a weekly, from a weekly time viewpoint, we are in a very interesting level, right? An area, which is we have two structures, and the question is, will price? The first question is, will price reverse from here and change direction? Yes or no? We don't know that yet, but this is the structure that we have identified before. That's the established downtrend, the break of that neckline, and it comes back. And the question is, what will it do when it gets to these previous area where buyers were very interesting in coming in and taking over? Will it do perhaps this, right? Something in this direction, or will it need to go even lower before that? That is if it is going to reverse and go much higher. I think, right, if we look at the not the immediate, but I mean, if you look much further to the left, it seems like this is the impulsive move. It doesn't seem it is. That's the impulsive move. That's the consolidation, and then the market at some point is likely to break out and continue higher. If it's going to do that, it needs to reverse direction, right? Because the current impulse is to the downside. So, and the question is, if it is going to go to the upside, what structures are the most likely structures is going to be using to change direction? So we identify with the technique of the order blocks, or the structures that I use all the time, the order blocks. And if that is the case, right? So when price comes in this area, we want to go into lower time frame to see, do we have a indication? Is the market signal us that it wants to do that? So if we do that, let's go to the daily. This is the weekly, right? This shaded, this is the whole area. So it's quite large, of course, because it's on the weekly. And what do we see price do as it gets in, right? It forms the first bullish order block. It didn't do anything with it, didn't get follow through, and it was invalidated quite quickly, right? I left it there for you guys to see it. It's invalidated, no longer there. And at the other end of this area, right? This is the area, the weekly that we talked about. As it was squeezing and trying to break it, we can see how the buyers came in and formed this bullish order block. I'm gonna zoom this a little bit further so you guys see this. Where does the buyers come in? That's the question. Do they come in at a relevant place or not? And I think they do, because of that weekly order block. They come in, and the question now is, do we get follow through, right? Always, that's the next question. When the market is signaling one thing once, it's not enough. It needs to show you follow through to confirm that it is doing and reacting as it should be, as following the script. So that is the order block that was formed. It's fresh. And what does price do as it comes back to retest it? We can go to the lower time frames and see that. So this is the order block on the daily, right? That's the order block. The market, let me get this out. The market does this, right? It comes in. That's the structure. And it takes out that neckline by a little bit, by only a fraction, but it is a valid take out. Let me get this going, right? So you have the line, the quasi line, right? This line, which is from that swing high, and you can see how the price broke that neckline, comes down, and uses a structure on the H4 to make that reversal, right? The market is, it's just, this whole structure, right, isn't visible, or actually it's not about being visible. It's fractal, right? As the market is fractal. If we look to the weekly, we had that quasi painted here, drawn here, right? It's the same structure. You can see how the market breaks and uses the same structure over and over again to potentially do the same, right? It's not always going to be doing the same, but that's the quasi, right? I just showed that's the quasi on the weekly, and we go to the 4 hour, you see again another quasi being formed, right? This one, the bigger one is of course the weekly. That's the 4 hourly. And what does it do as it comes in? This is the H4 order block, right? That was formed by that quasi. It's quite large. But you can still find structures there and opportunities, even though it's large. Price comes back and moves away, and that happened during the Asian session. So in my case, I couldn't participate, but that's the confirmation that it's doing something on the weekly, and the daily shows that bullish engulfing being formed, that bullish order block. And then on the H4, it also has a quasi. So we have multiple time frames in confluence, in alignment. That is a trade that you want to be getting into. So if price comes back either to this order block, which is the new one, right? I would be very interesting to find a reversal to the long side, right? It doesn't, maybe it's not going to do that, but if it does this, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, with the JOLTS number coming out, may have like a fake movement, maybe like an impulsive move for a couple of, I don't know, half an hour or so, come back into some demand area. And that's the moment I want to be ready to hit the trade button to get into the trade. Because if we can get a quasi on the 4 hour, right, with an entry on the lower time frames, and you have the daily and you have the weekly on your side, you can leave some portions for the bigger targets, right? The weekly and the daily targets. And these, we're talking about, what is this? This is about 200, about 350 pips potentially, all the way to the next weekly structure. So that is a lot of pie to be had.
I just want to say, I enter a short on UC CAD. So I'm going to open the screen here, show you guys that. Make sure you get the everything right. So went short here, stop loss. So let me talk you through this. So we have a 4 hour uptrend right here, and I'm looking for a move down to potential retest on the 4 hour. Looking for a move down to these highs on the 4 hour. You can see that we have a nice trend going on here, and there's a very clear chains of structure here on the 4 hour, where you have, based on the 4 hour, you have one touch of resistance straight down, one touch straight down, one touch straight down. But here you have a different structure at that resistance. You're creating a accumulation or distribution phase here. So you have an uptrend, a potential distribution, and it looks like we're going to break down to hit that low right there. So that's on the 4 hour. Going into the 1 hour, we see a clean break below this one right here, and you see that top formation, possible, lower highs and lower lows. Down to the 4 hour, we see that we had a strong bearish candle to the downside. Going all the one way into the 5 minute, you see that we broke that structure right here. So we broke the low right here on the 5 minute, very, very clean break to the downside. And then on the one minute, looks like I'm going to get stopped out here though, but on the 1 minute, we do have this break and retest right here. So you have a break and retest and a break and retest, and that short was based on this retest right here. Now reclaiming that level, and if we get above this zone, I will probably close out this trade, and if we break below these lows, I will start trailing my stop. So let's see how that goes on USD CAD. We can go back to Euro USD, and you'll see that we did break above this level, and we're now looking at a break and retest off that level. So I will now be looking for a long on EU. See how that looks. For a long here, I'll probably look at my stop loss all the way down here. I would put my TP at these highs, but I'm going to be trailing my stop up. So I'm going to be entering along here. I'm long EU and I'm short USD CAD. We'll see.
Victor, what do you think on Doge? If I put your screen on now, what do you have a look at Doge on a position trade on a daily, not on a weekly?
I love it. We're going from Forex majors to Dodge.
Yeah, but honestly, the structure is just absolutely fantastic. If you just it really, really does look like a really nice trade. I don't know why it doesn't look very good on. You want to have a look at it on Binance, to be honest, mate. If I put on my screen, it may make the trade look a little bit better. Just looks bullish as like crazy. Absolutely looks like it's going to.
It does look. That's a good retest.
That's
on the weekly as well.
Yeah, it already has pushed up. To be honest, I'm really thinking about just getting in a, because this is the exact same trade you do on a 5 minute, wouldn't you? With the exact same trade that we're looking on.
Yeah.
You know, like on EU, is like at the moment we're here. We're here on the trade, and if that's exactly the same trade we're doing on EU, and that's what I'd look for here on Doge. But this would be more of a position trade that could take, a couple of months. What do you think of that, Victor? Oh, you're on mute, mate.
I was talking all that for a couple of minutes now. Okay, so let me show my screen. There we go. That's mine. This is the if you look at the monthly, without considering that it's a crypto, without considering anything, just looking price action on a naked chart, what do I see, right? Of course, what we have here, I'm not sure if this is artifact or not. Probably. Yeah,
if you put it on a log chart, you'd see it all.
Okay, now, but I would prefer just to keep it on the regular chart. What I see is we have a huge impulse, price coming back and finding demand, and you can see how the price is having that base, right? It's very obvious from a higher time frame, maybe from the weekly. We can see this. Let me get this. This is maybe not as good, very well visible, but we can see how the base is being formed, and it's very nice from a distance, and that is the first thing that comes to my mind, right? So if we go to the monthly, what do I see? Do I have any structures? Let me get this out of the way. Any structures that we can use? I don't see the structure not a quasi there. So let's look at the weekly.
Yeah. It just looks like there's nothing stopping it really, except for where it's at now.
All right, so this is that would be the the quasi, that would be the neckline, and the question is, did it come into some area of irrelevance for a reversal, right? That would be, let me get the fib just for the 50% retracement, right? And if we do this, I'm gonna take this away. Not that one, right? We have a couple of structures that haven't been retested yet. That's on the weekly. And we certainly have this one here. And the question is, did price tap into it or not? I would argue that it did, since that little difference can be caused by spread, and this is crypto. So it to me, it did interact with this order block, and that makes the move very interesting, because it did go and come back to a very, you can see that a very relevant place where there aren't any other weekly order block from this point. There are only two, and it comes in just shy of tapping into it, but that can be because of the spread, and then reacts from it. So I like that very much. The fact that on the weekly it is, moving, following a reversal script that makes a lot of sense. And if you go to the lower time frames, you have the same structure being formed, and this being the weekly quasi, a smaller one, which also indicates it doesn't have to come back all the time, right? That's the next one, breaks it. And of course, it can come back to some structure as it go out, or it can just continue to go out without coming back. That doesn't have to. It doesn't always come back to make that right shoulder as we would like to. Let me see something else. Let me go to the lower time frames. What else do we find?
The lower time frames, it just looks like it's break, retest, continuation.
Okay, so this is yeah, on the lower time frames, it hasn't come back to do the quasi for the right shoulder yet. As I said, may happen in the future or not. But this is what I would be trying to catch if I were to trade this pair, which is, let's see, that would be one structure which was unvalidated, so it's not there anymore. And other than that, I don't see anything until this. So if price comes in here,
just want to let everyone know. Jump in
just
here
for the record.
Yeah.
Shorting gold, okay. Right, these are the two structures that I can identify which are below the 50% retracement. If price comes back into them on the daily time frame, this makes a lot of sense, because price started this whole move from the weekly order block, which was based on the quasi. So we're talking about a huge structure here, a weekly quasi that price reacted very nicely from it. And if price can come back into this area, personally, that's where I would be entering. Other than that, this looks very, very nice. I agree with you, Alex. This looks like even if it doesn't come back for a retest to get to me, this is the optimal entry. But even if it doesn't come to this area, we can still appreciate that this is likely to go higher.
Yep, agree. And another chart I'm excited to show is the Solana chart, because Solana is absolutely, this is a Solana against Bitcoin chart on a weekly, and it is held up with lovely. Everybody really hates on Solana, but it is one of the cryptos that has just been doing just absolutely phenomenal.
Can we just say here before we go into more of a crypto analysis here that the conditions and the trading conditions and the spreads and everything with the 5ers is best with Forex. We do offer crypto trading as well, of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is more geared towards swing traders. We do not offer any altcoin trading, but we are, us three together, we are interested in the crypto market. We do invest in the crypto market, and we do trade the crypto market with personal funds. So if you guys do have any short requests or any requests for any crypto or altcoins or whatever, let us know in the comments. And while we're at it, let us know if there's any specific pair that you want us to look at as well.
So going off, and even look, the Solana chart for US dollar as well is just being, fantastic, just super bullish. And it's even when some of the markets and some of the altcoins are retracing, it's still holding a lot of strength. So I think we're going to have a really nice breakout, hopefully, on Solana. It might not be now, but we may see something like that coming into after Trump or after Camilla gets in. Got to be careful what I'm saying. But whoever gets in, we'll see what happens. whoever gets in.
Whoever. It's a 50-50 game. Yep.
50-50 game. But yeah, we'll go back to the live
trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of opportunities in the crypto market. Let's get back to Forex, but before we do so, if we look at the structure, I mean, price is price, and price action on, it doesn't matter the price, the asset class that you trade, it's going to tell you with certain degree of confidence what it wants to do and what is likely to do. So you can use the same skills you use in Forex for the crypto market as well. There are a couple of things you need to watch out for. It's very volatile at times. The spread isn't the same. You cannot do lower time frames. Not every broker, as Jonatan said, not every broker is suitable for doing that. But if you go to the high time frames, if you use it as a swing trader for position trading, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities there. I just wanted to say that.
And honestly, crypto for swing trading and position trading is probably the best. Lower time frame trading, I tell you what, that's the most money I've lost, is lower time frame crypto trading. So unless you know how to do it and you can do really well with it, my personal experience is not very good with low time frame crypto trading, which you can do on Forex. But crypto is a different game on lower time frames.
I think when it comes to crypto, I would say generally be careful with altcoins as a whole. I mean, if you look at with certainty, we could say that over 90% of the altcoins that we see today are not going to be here in 3 or 4 years. They're going to be they're going to be down 99%. So if you're looking to be investing in the crypto market and you're completely new, you should look towards Bitcoin and Ethereum. And because crypto as a whole is very risky, it's a place where you can make money, but you can lose everything quite quickly, and it's a crazy place.
Platinum's quite an interesting chart if you're looking at it on a monthly. At the moment, obviously, somebody mentioned about platinum in general. It's still in like a massive range. But if you go onto a monthly chart, it just looks like it is just accumulating, like a mass accumulation on platinum. I wonder what that's going to look like when it breaks out. That'd be interesting. I don't know who looks at platinum, but
sorry, I'm a bit quiet here. I'm trying to figure out.
I'm watching the platinum chart right now, and I know what you're saying, Alex. It is consolidating, but it has that basing pattern as well. We can see it on the weekly. Maybe I can show my chart. I'm not going to do the analysis on it because it's just showing, first thing we see when we look at it. You can see the swings it has been doing in the past, right? Compared to what it's doing now. What it's doing lately is just making that base. And the question is it going to continue? If it does and does something like this, who knows? Maybe it's going to break out and continue. much higher. The other thing that I see is the area, right? The consolidation area it is currently in. This is the monthly, right? It is on top of another, right? It's on top. It's building on top of a previous consolidation area. So that's also a very bullish sign. And if we we go in on the weekly time frame, you see that the same thing happening again, right? It is there is a consolidation right there, right? That area, and then again you can see how price comes into just a little bit higher, and then reacts to the upside, right? And probably it will form another consolidation and another one, and that's how price eventually they will form that nice basing structure. So it looks very promising.
Agreed. The thing is, when you've got that kind of accumulation, when the move comes, it comes pretty fast, and a lot of people get sidelined. So it's a really nice chart. I've never really looked at platinum to trade before, to be honest.
I want to show you guys something on USD CAD. We have one of those low time frame setups. If it's okay with you guys, I want to just show the viewers an example here. So we have on USD CAD, we have that low time frame structure that I talked about. Now, obviously, I got stopped out on that short, but I want to show you and I'm still thinking about, still thinking about that short. So for me, it's if I have an idea and so for example, let's say I'm shorting USD CAD here and I get stopped out, but if it breaks that low again and I see the same structure, then I'm going to be shorting that again, because eventually one of these levels are going to break. Either will break that high and probably continue to the upside, or this one is going to break and we're going to get down here. And the risk to reward is so good on that short that I can sacrifice having, one or two losses on that idea until the whole idea gets invalidated, because, I'm probably going to lose, one or two are on the losers, but then the risk to reward might be 3 or 4 down to that level. So I'll be in profit. And that's the beauty of risk management and risk to reward ratio, of course. But looking at USD CAD, we did have a good structure on the 1 minute that I wanted to show you guys, and this is the whole idea of understanding market structure. And I said that I want to see price move down to support level and have a bullish engulfing candle, and that doesn't matter if you're on the 1 minute or the weekly. To be honest, it's the same structure. So here, obviously, we have look at this as a general downtrend. So we have a high, a low, high, and a low. We can also incorporate this high and low, so we can do something like this. So a downtrend, we break the downtrend right here, come down and retest that level for a move higher. What happens here is interesting, because right here is the exact same pattern that I talked about. What we have here is a break and a retest, and on the retest we have a bullish engulfing candle. So I actually missed this trade because I was calculating position size right when that candle closed. So right before that candle closed, I was calculating my position size, and then when I was ready to enter the trade, price were trading up here again, which is obviously too far away. So the best course of action when I see something like this is to place limit orders on the last high pre-break, which is this one right here. That you see here, you have the breakout, and that's the last high pre-break. Could have probably have used that wick as well. So what I would have done in this case, put my long orders on here, and then we have a good low, which I believe would be that one. And then because of the fact that that wick is so close to that level, I'm just going to go ahead and pick that one as my invalidation level. And then TP is either going to be here or at that high. So you can go maybe, and exit 50% here and exit 50% here, which means the risk to reward of this trade would be around 1.5. So that's a very good risk to reward ratio for a scalp trade like this. Remember, this is on the 1 minute, okay? And this structure is very, very clean. Now, of course, if you look through your trading and you see that when you have this structure, when you have this structure here with the bullish engulfing candle, this is the difference between entering limit orders and the market entering at confirmation. Because remember, let me use the replay function here, and I will show you how I would have traded this in the two different ways. So this is when we break below that level right there. And on the next candle, so it looks like we're about to break down. So I'll be looking for the last high pre-break, which is that one. I'll place limit orders on that one and then have my stop loss below here. And then I'm going to TP around this area. So that's for the limit orders. And then you'll see we get filled here. But the difference is, if you wait for confirmation, you can have a much tighter stop loss. Now, of course, your entry will be a little bit higher, but your stop loss can be much tighter. So if this is the trade for a limit order, this would be entering at market here. And the beauty with trading with the 5ers is the spreads. Now, I don't think USD CAD has as good spreads as Euro USD, but it should be good enough. And here you can have a much tighter stop loss, maybe here, and then the TP. So this will be a 1.77, and this will be slightly higher with a 2R. Now, the difference between these two is this has higher risk to reward and confirmation, which means this should, in theory, give you better risk to reward. Now, if we add the fib, here's another thing that you could be doing on a setup like this. You could be looking for the 50% fib and only enter when you hit the 50% fib, which is going to be that level right there. In this case, you have confluence between the 50% fib and that breakout target. And look how nicely price hits that 50% fib. Let me show you something else. Is there anything else we can add to this to increase or potentially increase the profitability of a setup like that? It could be an indicator. And in this case, what I like to use is the stochastics RSI. So if you add a stochastics RSI, what you see when you hit that level, and what I like to do is I like to go in and change the 80 to the 70 and the 20 to the 30. Only go long when the stochastic RSI is below 30, which is that line right there, which I guess is not perfect in this scenario, but you'll see that a lot of times the low on the 1 minute will be a... Is it me?
Yes.
That is you.
Did you hear that weird sound?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, something weird is happening.
What kind of sound was it?
I don't know. Aliens. So yeah.
Abduction in progress.
Yeah. So there's a difference here. So you can have higher risk reward and also potentially higher, completely throw me off guard there. Now let's look at current price action, see what we have right here. Yeah, look at that. We're possibly getting a breakout right here. So we would obviously have hit that TP. Let's zoom out here. Yeah, I don't think there's a trade here on that breakout.
EU's playing around.
Take a look at EU.
It's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's just...
It's not going
I
anywhere.
don't know.
Maybe it's waiting for America. America is supposed to open up in what, 7 minutes?
Oh, Euro NCD though. This could be a breakout trade. No, that's just on the daily. I thought this was on the 1 minute. You see, I'm confusing the time frames. I'm like, this looks like a good breakout. You just have to wait 4 days. See, Euro NCD. We got I like this though. That's a very bullish move right there. That's I kind of like that. I would love to perhaps see a move down here, something like that. Not a lot of opportunities today. I feel like it's
start of the
better.
week. No, it's not. It's not the start of the week at all, is it?
It's Monday. That's the start of the week, isn't it?
It is Monday, yeah? It is Monday.
It's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday.
It's the start of the week, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Man, I thought it was already Thursday. So yeah, we're setting up the range for the week. That's what we're doing. We've made a low. Now let's make a high and let's set up a range that we just want to consolidate until NFP.
So Bitcoin is obviously we have a possible on Bitcoin. Let's look at is this untested? It's not really untested, but it's a good breakout, which means a retest of this level might give us something. But I want to okay, let's go back to Euro USD because I've lost 1% so far in this session, which means that I have about one loser left until I have to call it a day for my trading.
By the way, we have 890 likes by already. So we're only what is it 110 likes away from 1,000 for today.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
sure.
I was just kidding about the 500. We'll do 1,000 instead.
These guys deserve it. They've done it. Yeah, we'll get by the end of the stream. It will. We will get there. Does anybody want any kind of pairs to be?
Yeah, we do have a pair. We do have a few pairs. We have gold has been quite heavily requested, so maybe we can do all three of us. We'll start with Victor and then perhaps Alex. And while you guys are looking at gold, I'll set up the giveaway. And then when I'm done with that, I'll take a look at gold. So let's make sure that we're not
Is there anything
spending.
to talk about with gold, really? Well, it's up to Victor. Victor, I can talk about something. I'll take something else, and I'll give to do.
Victor talk about gold. Alex will talk about some obscure altcoin nobody knows about.
I was just going to have a look at USD yen, to be fair, because that looks like it's just, absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
Flying.
Let's do that.
It's USD yen. To be honest, I just want to get on. I would just want to get onto the trade. Everybody really needs to be long. So anything that's any kind of retracement, really, you want to get long off. Let's have a look.
Dude, look at that gap up on USD yen.
Yeah, and it's just closed it as well. So that's a really nice. Yeah. I'd get on that, and I'd get on that long. That's really nice.
Yeah. Look at the 50-minute. Look at the possible break and read slower, but I don't think that's going to happen. This looks like one of those moves that are just going to continue to the upside.
Yeah, the 15-minute. You got the double. It's tested. It's retested, taking everybody out, and now it's pushing up. You had the breakout at the top of the range. Let's go down to a 5-minute. Did you get a retest on? They didn't even get a retest on that. Maybe a nice trade would be something like that. Or if you're an impulsive trader, you get in there.
I love that. If like it's something good being impulsive. Like if you are an impulsive trader, which is a great thing, then you might want to enter here.
Look, being impulsive sometimes as well. If you're on the lower time frames and you see the pattern and you see it moving, and you're like for me, for momentum, I'm a momentum trader. If it moves, I want to be in the trade, and I will. Yeah. There you go. I want to be in the trade. I don't want to be wait. If it comes down, so that's some of the problems. Is you get times where you've entered a little bit of extra at the wrong place. That's fine, but if you're on lower time frames and price is already moving to complete the pattern that you're normally trading, I'll get in. To be honest, I'll take the extra.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you. I mean, that there are some instances where being impulsive, like on the lower time frames when scalping, can be a good thing. I mean, because it's all about not having the fear of executing the trade. Because a lot of times, a lot of people are looking at the 1 minute and it's moving so quickly, and they have to think like, is this a good trade? Can I enter here? But on the 1 minute, you have to just follow.
That's why I think I'm really good on the 1 minute, because I think afterwards I'm like in. It's just well, everybody's got to work to their advantage, and for me it's just boom.
No, but I'm the more I trade on the 1 minute, the less I activate my rational brain. It's more about being following that intuitive side of thinking, where it's like, if you if you think too much about the current state of things, you know, in the market, you kind of get thrown out of the flow on the lower time frames, because you know what you're looking for and you know when you see it. But if you have to like double check, like, okay, I'm seeing this, I know what I want to see and I'm seeing it, but let's just make sure that I'm really seeing what I'm seeing. At that point, 2-3 minutes could have gone by and the trade is gone. So it's definitely the difference between that book, Fast and Slow Thinking.
I hate it, honestly, mate. Honestly, it's too wordy for me.
I like how Alex is so honest about his.
It's too wordy.
his
Honestly, I
opinions.
picked it up. I like picture books. There's not
Oh
enough
my
pictures in
God.
the book. No, I did pick it up and I did start reading it, and honestly, I would nearly fell asleep.
Do you know how to read?
I do know how to read. I'm quite good. I'm
Yeah.
an avid reader, to be fair. I do like reading, but I also like reading things that interest me. And
Yeah.
there's some people that you read them. I'll give you a good book that is so the book was it Holiday? What's the trader? Can't remember his name. Tom. He normally trades with the DAX.
Tom Hugard.
Hubbard or what? He's got a
Hugard.
book really. The biggest, the best loser wins, or something like that.
Yeah, the
That
best loser wins. Yeah, very good.
Easy to read, and it is such a good book. I like books that are just super to the point. A lot of the stuff that was written in the Think Fast or Slow, you could have condensed it into a quarter of the amount,
Yeah, he did win a Nobel Prize on that work, though. So I think, there's some people that doesn't agree with you.
No, but then again, for a good read, it has to cater for the reader, and winning the Nobel Prize, of course, needs to be very extensive, needs to be very, have to be.
I love how we're criticizing Nobel.
No, but that's true. That's true. A lot of probably academics that like reading really, really, really long research papers and stuff would really enjoy that book. Me personally, if I'm picking up a book, I want to be in and out. I want to read it while I'm drinking my tea in the morning. I just want something really easy to read. It's like Sapiens as well. That was also a book that I just couldn't get into. But
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like I love the idea of reading heavy factual books, but it's just so boring. I'm working on, so I'm currently reading a lot about ADHD. Believe it or not, that's I'm reading. So because I got ADD, and my kid got ADHD, and everyone's around me is just a bit insane. So I thought maybe getting to know it a bit, getting to know the conditions of the people that I live with, maybe and I've probably read 10 different books now, and I got and I don't know, it's some of these books are just insanely boring to read, and you need to kind of prepare yourself to either be in a state of research, or if you just want to get entertained, right? And sometimes I pick up a book I just want to get entertained, right? Reading some Dan Brown or something like that, some weird stuff, and I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, but let me talk about what I'm reading right now. I'm reading Gold. If we look at the chart,
nice. Whoa, Victor is a true trader. He doesn't even read books. Read prices.
No, but I'm talking about Gold. I think there's a lot to be read in it, because we if we look at, of course, we look at monthly and all the every the weekly. This is as bullish as it can get, right? This is so impulsive. All the bars are telling us, who is in control, and that hasn't changed so far. And who knows when it's going to change. We look to the weekly. There isn't really much to be said other than it keeps on forming bullish structures, right? That's the first one. Actually, this is the first one, and a second one from the last impulsive move as it was consolidating. And from that moment on, it just was stacking bullish order blocks on top of each other, right? 2, 3, 4. And so, and it never stopped. It never changed the direction or structure. If we look to the daily, and my question is, where do I get in? How do I participate in a move like this? So it is at a demand area, since the direction is already on the higher time frames. In any case, it's to go up, right? That's the easy trade. That's the better trade. That's the best trade. But where do you get in? And it is at a demand area. Either price comes into a demand area that we have much lower. I think we were mentioning this a couple of days ago, that this would be the area to be buying. But we can see how the market at the current place has formed a order block, comes back to retest this, was unable to break it. I believe we were talking about this about gold when as it was breaking or trying to break this order block, which it didn't in the end because it didn't close below it. And from that moment on, right, if we look at, let me zoom this a little bit more, that's the demand area, right? So when I ask myself, how do I participate? That's the area that I want to be buying, right? Not blindly, but as it is showing me on multiple time frames that it wants to move on, right? So that was the trade. That's the beginning of the setup, basically, which is a couple of days ago. If you go to the H4, what do we see? There isn't really a nice quasi in this case, but you can see, even if there isn't a, to me, a valid quasi to be traded on the H4, you can see that as price is coming back to that order block, to that daily, it's not closing below. If anything, the lows are getting higher, right? Higher lows and higher highs, market structures showing strength, buyers coming into the market again. So, and if we look at what has it done since the last time it came back, right? This is the time price came into the, let me show this. Let me move this a little bit this way. As price is coming back, was unable to break and validate that daily. What did it do? It formed a bullish order block here, right? Comes back, rejects and retests that order block. What does it do? It forms another one on top of it, right? That's the same order flow that you see as price is showing, and it's a sign basically who is in control. It's following the buyer's script, forming bullish order structures on top of each other. It goes up, makes a higher high, comes lower. This time it does interact with the second H4 order block. It doesn't create a bullish order block right away, but it created it on the following order block, or the following candle. And you can see here, that's the third. So on top of each other, 1, 2, and 3. That tells us that the buyers are accumulating, are getting into the market and defending higher prices. And this is it now showing very bullish stance, that, it seems that maybe it's going to come back and form another one, as it is likely to break and take on that all-time high yet another time. Now, the question is, all of this is fine. We're reading price, but all of this already happened. And how can we, or the trader looking at home, how can we trade? Well, how can we use this to our advantage? So what I would do is, okay, so I recognize that the daily, on the daily time frame, it is reacting from this order block and it's moving out. And I can assume that this reaction or this move is likely to going to move, somewhat higher than current prices, because it has moved already, but that's not that much. This is the daily. It hasn't moved that much. If you go to the H4, what else do we find? We had those order blocks I just mentioned on the 4-hour. Now this one has already been retested, right? And also this is the last one, which also was retested. Look at this wick. I mean, this is beauty, guys. Look at this. Look at this wick right here. Price forms this. This is the order block. Let me show it with an arrow. That's the order block being formed. Price goes away, but before it goes, it touches that order block very, very nicely. Look at that. That's the interaction. That would be the place that I didn't trade this, to be fair, but that would be the place that I'm interested in catching, or at least as it is moving out and already left that wick. So if we go to the lower time frames, do we find other structures that we were This is hindsight, of course, because as we were talking, I did this analysis. I don't trade gold regularly, so but what I can see is this, right? We have a hold on, guys.
I've got a long on CAD JPY. Let's see. I gotta get a breakout on that one. If I do, I'll be.
So that whoever threw out the book, The Lords of Easy Money. Now that actually looks like a really good book. I actually looked it up.
Lords of Easy Money. Let's look at that.
Lords of Easy Money. How the Federal Reserve broke. I can't see the rest of it. The title. Let's put it.
All right, I'm back.
The Federal Reserve broke America's economy. Or
Alex, I'm sorry, but we kind of like completely interrupted Victor in his analysis.
No, you guys didn't. Well,
it
may look like an interruption, but I was needing a few times of muted time, and you guys perfectly filled it in. So it's all good. It's actually very good. You guys,
Nice.
you guys did a stupendous work doing that interruption, which was an interruption to me. All right.
Nice.
So
okay,
we have
that book though. Yeah,
Okay.
good stuff. How the Fed broke the American economy. Very interesting.
Anyway, let's go back to
All right, so
we open book club.
So this is the gold, and the question is, as I was saying, how can we participate? Although the daily already order block was already retested, and it's already getting the reaction we expect. It's already getting that follow through. But this week we can find, right? That's the order block on the daily, right? And if we zoom in on the H1, these are of course the H4. You can see them, the order blocks. That's number one, the second on top of it, and the last one, which was nicely revisited, as I indicated. I try to find that reversal pattern, that quasi telling me that, where can I buy, where can I get in, what's the optimal price level to get in. And this is that's the quasi, that's the break of that neckline. And it comes back to, you see that order block on the H1, that's where I would be. This is behind, as I said, this is hindsight, but that is the place to be buying. As prices already formed that quasi coming back, and we find a reversal pattern on the lower time frames, if you are able to do so, or even on this time frame, it's already enough to get a trade on. And if you did, you would have something in, let's say you bought by maybe this hammer, maybe the engulfing, maybe you saw something else, another indication, putting your stop below it and targeting at least the that previous high. But actually, since you're trading the daily, you can target the all-time high or something right before it. And if you look at previous price action, you can even leave a portion of that trade for much longer, and it would be looking something like this. And this would be only based on the H1, not even going to the lower time frames. That would be something that I would be trading. Let me take another pause.
Okay, I want to show you guys what I got going on here with the USD. What is it? It's USD JPY. Oh, it's USD JPY. I said CAD JPY, but it's actually USD JPY. So I got my entry down here, and I'm looking for a move up to this level right here. So Alex said basically, okay, just buy. So I'm like, okay, I'm buying. And it just looks very good. It looks like we have a very strong momentum push to the upside right here. And looking at the lower time frames, I looked at a breakout, a breakout consolidation. It looked like we have very strong momentum. So either we had two things going to happen: retest of this level, or you're straight up to the next resistance above. And right now, it looks like we're heading towards that next resistance above. And if you guys remember, the way I'm trading here in the lower time frames, because the moves can come in quite quickly. I want to make sure that I also secure the trades that I see are in a good position. Now, I'm okay with having this stop loss being hit, but if we come down here and form a higher low, you can see that we have a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. If we do come in here and form a higher low and then break out, I'm going to move my stops to below these lows, or perhaps at entry, depending on what price action looks at the time. Well, actually, at this point, I'm just going to be moving my stops here, and yeah, then I'm just going to wait and see what price does. If we have like a very clear rejection right below my TP, then I'm just going to manually close the trade. But this is the thing with trading on the lower time frame. Some days you're going to have many losers, and it depends on how you're trading, right? But some days you're going to have many losers in a row. But then if you're looking for the bigger moves, and today most of the trades I've taken today are breakout trades. I've taken maybe only one break and retest, but a lot of other trades are going to be breakout trades. And when I'm taking the breakout trade, I know that the win rate is going to be very low, but the risk reward of the breakout trades are going to be high. So I can have a few losers as a breakout trade, but then I know that I'm going to get a runner eventually to pay for those. So it's all about risking small amounts when you're doing that breakout, to make sure that you're not losing too much. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to push out as well. Finally, it keeps doing this, but it actually looks like it's, you've got a 13 minutes to the close on the 1 hour, and the 1 hour at the end is actually pumping. So that's also. So I got
the giveaway link all set up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put that into the comment section in just a minute. So keep your eyes on the comment section. I'll give the giveaway link and the secret code. I'm gonna pin it to the comment section. You'll go in there. And how many accounts are we gonna give away today?
They got 1,000 though.
Yeah, they did.
So it's 10.
Yes, they did.
What do you want to do? What do you think, guys? How many accounts?
I think if everybody can smash the like button right now, we can do 10.
No, we're gonna do 10. So we're gonna do 10, but let's do 12. Okay.
Wow.
Let's do 12. Let's do 12.
I think that's a great call.
Yep.
Victor, do you want to continue?
You were so quick with the likes today. We're gonna do 12 instead of 10.
Yes, I would like to make another attempt to finish my analysis, and I just had yesterday I had an 11-hour flight, so I think it's that's what's causing my dry throat.
Yep.
But I'm going to try to see if I can finish. What I was saying was that the market is positioning on multiple time frames: the daily, the H4, and the H1. They're all telling us, and they're activating. They're following the script, right? You can see that's the established downtrend. It goes up. This is on the lower time frames, but I will switch to the hourly so we can see how it does it nicely, comes back to that order block and forms an engulfing. Multiple engulfing, actually 3 to be exact, and that's very powerful. It never was unable to break this order block, and you can already assume that it's going to, that yes, is so clearly who is in control. That reversal, that bullish reversal, is working perfectly nicely. And how would I trade that? Well, the entry would have been, you could have, if the actual entry would have been either when price came back into this entry order block on the 5 minute, or maybe on the second time it came around. So something in this area, or that would be the entry based on a lower time frame quasi. But that already happened. The other thing is this quasi is still at play. So if we have a little reaction still for the rest of the hour, which is not likely, right? The impulsiveness, the bullish buying pressure already came to the market, and it's unlikely to go this low again. But if it were to come back somewhere near a structure of below that 50% retracement, then that would be the best area to buy. Other than that, you can play the momentum play, because the structure already signaled and did the movement it was supposed to do on the H1. And if that is true, then maybe it's not going to reverse anymore. It's just going to build from this point on. Let me show this. Build from this point on, come back, go higher, and it already did. See that on the 5-minute, comes back to that 5-minute order block and continues higher. So maybe one of the idea is to just play that momentum trade, and as it is coming back to those demand area, buy for that continuation, knowing though that it's already started, so it's a momentum play. That's different than the quasi where you expect price to come all the way down beyond that 50% retracement for you to get the best price, because you're already assuming that it's not so likely to come back all the way much to the lower pricer. So that's one of the ideas. Since a momentum play, I'm less likely to hold this much longer, right? Because it can come back maybe at the end of the day, maybe tomorrow. So it's probably just going to be a day trade if there is a signal, right? But you can clearly see that the buyers are coming back to the market. So that's it on gold.
EU, finally, while we wait for Jonatan, EU looks like it's, we got 8 minutes and it's pushing up. Quite a tiring trade, this one. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I haven't been trading for a long time, and I'm fresh coming back. Being on stream as well. Being on stream is also quite tiring. But we do. How was your holiday though, Victor? Because you went on holiday, but from what I understand, you went on holiday from.
Yeah. Yes, I went to see a Champions League game in Madrid a couple of days ago. For those who mentioned and noticed, my background was different last week and is now different than my place again. And this is that was for a soccer game, a football game. It was a very interesting. I don't know if there are many football fans in the audience, but in the last. Real Madrid was losing 0-2 against Dortmund, and in the last 35 minutes, believe it or not, they scored 5 times. The stadium. Yes, it ended up 5-2.
Wait, can you say that again? In the last
went
what?
Nuts. The game was Real Madrid against Dortmund, and there were still like 35 minutes to the end of the game, and I said, it's likely to end, like this. It's already been so for so many minutes. But Real Madrid came back and scored in that 35 minutes 5 times.
Wow.
The game went from 0-2 losing to 5-2 winning, and since we are at their home stadium, you can imagine what the audience went nuts. It was a great experience to watch.
Nice. That sounds amazing. Very cool. All right, guys, before we do the giveaway, I got a quick video I want to show you all. Are you ready to refine your trading skills? If you are, then watch until the end of this video because we have a special promotion for you. Welcome to the 5ers Bootcamp Trading Week, a mastery series designed to equip you with the right tools and knowledge that you need to become a more confident and profitable trader. You will get to join 8 expert mentors and traders for daily lessons that dive deep into key trading aspects. Every day, we are hosting 2 lessons on different trading topics and active assignments to sharpen your trading skills. And we have a special promotion for those of you who complete all the assignments. A $20K bootcamp account for only $10. So are you ready to raise the bar in your trading? Join us and sign up for free now.
Nice. Nice. You're muted.
I am muted. Let's make sure that you go to the description of the video, click the link, and sign up for the bootcamp week. This is definitely a educational week that you do not want to miss. Now let's go on with the actual giveaways here. Let's see what we have. So this time around, I'm actually going to no, I'm not going to do the whole that we did in the past with that spinning wheel, because I've seen that it doesn't always work the way it should be working. So I'm just going to draw 12 winners here, and then I'm going to put them up on my trading view. And I'm also seeing a lot of comments on, we have many entries, we have like 2,000, 3,000 entries into the giveaway, but that's because you can have multiple entries per person. So what we really have is 500 people. So we currently have 500 people in the giveaway. So it's 500 people that are battling each other to win 12 20K bootcamp account. And I'm going to draw the winners right away. And when it's ready, I'm going to put them on my trading view. But I have to
Hey, honestly, just do the wheel, mate. Honestly, do the wheel.
I've done the wheel, but sometimes same people have been winning multiple times in the same giveaway, which makes no sense.
Is that because they got the loyalty points? Oh, but there's a thing. There's a checkbox saying that winners can't win more than once.
I know, but it's they did anyway. So I think it's that thing is in beta, and I don't think it's working as it's supposed to be working. But I will just I'm just gonna blur out the emails. So just give me a second. So maybe you guys can.
For everyone, for those who wonder if I'm a Real Madrid fan or not, I'm not. I just like to watch great matches, and it doesn't matter who's playing as long as they play passionately, and I enjoy that. That's so I'm not.
Why
not for.
Why don't you tell them the story about how you actually got to see the game? Like you can tell them about that. Maybe
well,
not.
Actually, I don't. By the mask, you can imagine that I don't talk about my personal stuff all too much. But I can say though that I won the tickets. These tickets were from apparently my crypto buying were as such that I don't know how to say, but I was in the top whatever in volume for that period, and they gave me some very nice VIP tickets for free to that game, and it was very nice. I mean, fancy food and open bar and things like that, and one of the better seats, or maybe the best, I don't know, but it was a great experience in short. So yeah, I they gave them to me because of some buyings I did. Apparently, it was big enough for them.
Yeah, so this guy is basically having the volume necessary with buying crypto, so that he gets invited, gets VIP tickets to the Champions League. What's the Champions League finals, right?
No, not finals, but Champions League game 3.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. We didn't have to stand in line, right? You just go in and they show you the way into your seat. It's very, very nice.
All right, we got the winners. We have the winners right here, and I do see that a few of you are definitely winning because of the loyalty points, because I do see some regular viewers right here, which is awesome to see. Let's pull up the screen right here. Alex is watching his phone right now. Look at that.
Maybe.
All right, here we go. Here we have all the winners for today's giveaway. Can you guys see this? Can you actually see it?
Yes, it is visible
All
and
right.
legible.
Nice.
So you will all get credits added to your hub account.
It's not going. They're not going to be credits. It's just going to be a coupon that you'll be able to use to open up an account. Obviously, if you open up more than one account, then both accounts get deleted. So only use the link once, please, guys.
Okay, so you'll get an email from us, and we also know that we do have a backlog of winners for the giveaway, and we are working on setting that up. Yeah, that's all being taken care of. I know that I've been getting some emails. I should have replied to all your emails, and I will also be sending out the new emails as well. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us here today. We're going to be doing more of these giveaways tomorrow. We're also going to be doing giveaways on Wednesday as well. And this is to make you aware of the Bootcamp Trading Week that we got going on and starting next week on November the 4th. All right, guys, make sure that you click that link in the description and sign up. And then until next time, until tomorrow. And congrats all the winners.
Yes, for sure. We have a great couple of days in store for you guys. So as you can see, we're warming up for that bootcamp event. There's more to come. So come and join us. And for everyone, not for that person who asked, I didn't wear my mask to the Champions League game. I didn't.
No, really? I thought you were. I thought you were wearing that mask all like 24/7. You don't sleep in that mask. Weird.
Almost. All right, so that's it for us for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all those likes. We appreciate it very much. So thank you. See you guys tomorrow.
Take care. See you all.
Bye.
Hi guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all, go into the YouTube and check our other content that we provide here at The 5ers. We'll see you in the next one.